Okay, so basically, I'm trying to figure out the optimal controls for Jet. Just because Jet in particular has quite a few interesting control schemes that you might want to utilize. One of those being jump plus dash at the same time. Another one maybe being jump plus updraft, because it's like, whilst if you practice it, it's not really a problem. When you jump plus dash or jump plus updraft, you do kind of cover more distance, you updraft higher, or you dash further. But there are like inherent issues with doing it manually, such as there's certain like dash spots that are not quite as easy to perform without like a dedicated keybind for this. Because for example, if you're using the operator, you need to scope it in, you need to position a certain way to be able to dash into like a specific spot for like a reposition. And it's just kind of a lot of mental overhead when you can kind of reduce that slightly just by having a dedicated key for this. And I don't know, I'm personally all for kind of simplifying things through these kinds of shortcuts, I guess. So let's see. Ultimate. I like the ultimate key here, to be honest. I think with this particular keyboard layout, it's fine. Like it does work out, just because this the action of strafing to the right is actually like geometrically quite far away from the ultimate key compared to on the regular keyboards. So this is quite optimal here. I think generally speaking, I think V or B are a good position for the ultimate key. To be honest, can I reset tab to default? Yeah, give me the defaults. Let's see the defaults. I've not seen the default controls in a while. Walk is shift, jump is spacebar, crouch is left control. Yeah, these are really bad. Jump is fly up. That's valid. Lie down is left control, which is crouch. That's fine, I guess. But yeah, so let's see. Cloudburst is normally C, which is not good because it's kind of better to have Cloudburst on a key that isn't going to be pressed to the finger that's responsible for movement actions. Especially in like high intensity combat, you want to be able to kind of dash, updraft, shoot, crouch, jump, regardless of the direction that you're moving in. That's kind of the #1 rule. If there is that kind of conflict, like for example, let's say, I don't know, you have your jump key on C. Well, now you also have the right key on C. So if you want to strafe around cover, well, no, air strafing is no longer really possible unless you use one finger to press both buttons at once. Which is kind of shit when you think about it. Maybe some people would be fine with that, in which case they would have greater flexibility with how they set up their keybinds, but to me, that's not really worth it. It's just a little bit excessive. Also, my cat fell asleep on my arm. Nice. I gave her a tiny treat, and she's just been loving me again. So I needed to give her a treat. That's funny. Okay. Oh, that's a decent loaf. I wonder if I can take a picture. Picture taken? No, it's a bad loaf. It just looked decent from my perspective. Wow. That's unfortunate. Yes, I'm also making this guide for Jet. But first I do want to figure out the controls. To be honest, jump plus updraft is a little bit less common, I think. When do you want to jump plus updraft? Not many places, like maybe Ascent. But apart from Ascent... Huh. Yeah, there's not really that many places. Like, jump plus updraft can pose an advantage if, let's say, you're using ultimate and you want to kind of displace yourself as much as possible when picking the enemy, but I feel like the difference is quite small compared to if you were to just manually make the input happen. So I think that's why I'm going to keep this, but I'm not going to have a shortcut for jump plus updraft. Anyway, my cat just wanted to leave the room. Okay. In which case, okay, jump is probably fine, just because jump is the kind of thing that kind of does require some precise inputs compared to crouch. So, the issue is, I think, let's see, walk is left shift, crouch is left control. Walk and crouch can be on the same keys. That is true. Walk and crouch can be, right? Walk, I guess. I mean, because the issue is, what if you're walking and then you want to dip into a crouch at the same time? Doing it with the pinky key is kind of awkward, I think. Compared to if the two separate fingers were to perform the action. Obviously, walk shouldn't be on the mouse, on any mouse keys. Crouch should probably not be on the mouse keys either. But does that leave us with anything else? Does that leave us with anything else? Yusuf Cox, hello, welcome. What am I doing? Controls optimization for Jet for my particular hardware. Yeah. I'm somewhat inclined to have ADS and dash swapped. Just dash on mouse. What more do you need? Well, it really depends, because like, dude, number one issue: people misclicking their ultimates. On this hardware, the ultimate key is kind of geometrically further away, so it's okay. But you know, that's kind of the that's kind of the number one issue. On this hardware, that's not an issue. Number two issue is walk and jump being on the same finger. It's not really ideal. No, sorry, not walk and jump. Walk and crouch. Walk and crouch. Being pressed with the same finger. Because you know, it's like it's very insignificantly slow switching from walking to crouching, if that is ever needed. But it's still better to have it on separate fingers, I think. If there's no compromises that would be necessary for that. Another thing, fly down cannot be on crouch. Fly down in custom games, when it's bound to crouch, results in you flying down very slowly, which I don't think they fixed that yet, so it's also something that would need changing, just for better mobility in custom games. Cloudburst, I think, is better to have not on a finger that's responsible for a movement key, at least. If you're trying to navigate the Cloudburst, then I don't think it's as good for it to be on the mouse. But I think it's still better if you're just tapping the Cloudburst. I think that's still good. But you know, it's not very common, so something else is probably worth having here, which I'm going to look into now. Reload. Because that's what I do. I optimize shit. Will I be playing Jet? Probably no, but what I will be doing is completing this guide here. A guide for every single glide spot for Jet. And some of these are important. Like, some of these are really important. I'm really interested to see if on Breeze you can get here to here. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, there's a few things I want to test out, because split B third and is really hard. Split B third, 2, 3. Split B, split B third, 1, 2, 3. Third one. Split first. Third and first. Fourth and first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I know it's possible, but I didn't know it's really hard. And first. Is it really hard? What about the mid? Do you know if this is possible? Obviously, this is quite situational, but if it's possible, then no, it's not possible. Shit. Okay. Where was it here? That's sad. Okay. What else? Is the breeze you can? Okay, you can do the breeze one. Okay. Abyss. Let's see. Okay, yeah. No, not. You can't? Or can? I'm sorry, but I don't know what's the typo and what's not the typo. No, not. You can do the breeze one, but yellow from bridge. Oh my god. Abyss not possible. Okay. Shit. Sad. Imagine if it was possible. Obviously Ascent is possible. So breeze one is possible, right? This is possible, right? The mid. No, it's not possible. Shit. Okay. Breeze. No. It's just glide. It's just glide. Cause yeah. No. With the dash, you can get in many places, dude. That's not, that's makes a lot of these jumps really easy. This one possible. Bridge to yellow possible. Oh, I wonder if it's possible to get to these boxes then. Probably not. They're too high. I would guess. But the distance is quite short. It's not. I wish it was like just a very difficult jump. That would be cool. If it was just like one of the hardest jumps in the game, that would be interesting. Okay, anything else here? Oh yeah, is the abyss one possible? Abyss not possible. Is this not possible either? Because this is quite high compared to the level of the window. You can't. Never tested it. Yeah, because like the elevation difference seems quite huge. You don't think it's possible? We can test it. I really like Ascent, to be honest, because after you get on top of the first bricks, you just need to repeat the lineup for the second bricks. Ascent. Only the first one? There is only one. I'm sorry to tell you this, but there's only one Ascent. But yeah, the first bricks, and then you only have to use one lineup, which I think is great. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so that's about it. And now I've been just kind of sidetracked a bit, optimizing the controls. How long till next act? We can see. It's just like what bothers me is that this motherfucker Jin from the Discord, like, he's so concerned about like the tiniest things. He's hoping that because of the act reset, he's maybe gonna get his rank reset to like 50 RR, so that he gets like extra RR, and I'm pretty sure he's avoiding playing so that if he D-ranks, his rank doesn't get reset to 50 RR, to like the default. Like, I don't know whether that's true or not, whether like it resets like that, but I'm pretty sure it does. It doesn't? Okay. Yeah, but like he's afraid of like, but even if it did work like that, right? Even if it did work like that, why the fuck are you worried about like, 20, 30 RR? Like, like that's just like, with your MMR, like with his MMR, let's see, where is he? With his MMR, he like gains like 20 instantly from a win. And he MVPs like so many times in a row, like he's on his way to winning. Where is he? Rwandi, Speaker Tiger. I'm so blind. Magikyo. 20. Okay, his MMR is not that good, but look at this shit, dude. He's MVP so many times in a row. Like, dude. Pop off. Is his MMR really so bad? Some diamonds. Ooh. I hope he's not duo Q. Zekat's work, Shang, Avatar. I don't think he's duoed in these, but yeah. It's like, why are we so worried about fucking 20 RR, dude? Just fucking play the game, dude. Play the fucking game. I sacrificed so much RR just to fucking get somewhere. Anywhere. And this guy is fucking reserved. Why are we so reserved? This is like fucking playing passive, but like next level, because you're playing passive like outside of the fucking ranked games. Like this is like a passiveness mistake. Not in terms of gameplay, in terms of no gameplay. Maybe he likes to be on the bottom. Yeah. Okay, so curtain walk. I guess this is one of the only possibilities. Basically just keeping the structure of the controls the way it is originally. But the thing is, primary, secondary, melee, and spike equip, that's not good. That is actually not good. There's like absolutely no need for that, because when you think about it, like how often do you actually, like, for example, pull out the knife, the spike, right? All you're basically left with in terms of the important keybinds is primary and secondary. But here's the thing. It's very easy to just set up. Like, it's not even the primary, to be honest. Well, all you need is a keybind that lets you go back to the primary weapon. But what's the most important is your secondary button, right? Like, your secondary is the most important, like, keybind out of, like, your weapon switching. Out of, like, your tools that you have for fighting. Like, the number one most important is the secondary weapon. So that's why I personally usually have it next to my spacebar or next to my jump. And then I just have this scroll wheel up, just reset my weapon back to my primary weapon. Because none of the other shit really matters. That shit can be anywhere, really. How you equip your primary weapon, how you equip your knife, how you equip, you know, all that shit. It can stay on the top row, it can stay on the numbers, but it's the fucking secondary. That's the kind of important one. And personally, I think this is fine. I don't actually usually have jump here. I have jump on scroll wheel, but it's jet. You want to be able to glide quite comfortably, at least. So yeah. I think normally I will have crouch here instead of jump, and then jump on the scroll wheel. But this is for jet. So I think this is actually fine for jets. I don't think there's any other good setting here. So this is like the one thing the default controls do kind of well, specifically for agents like Jet, where you do need to hold down the jump button sometimes, just because of like the glide, or Sova drone, maybe something like that, right? Probably just Jet. Like, is there any other agents that requires you holding down jump? Probably not, so maybe there are a few, but most of the time jump on scroll wheel is fine in Valorant, so it's kind of a waste of a space. Waylay and raise? Waylay? Waylay how? How waylay? After you dash? You need to keep momentum? After you dash? I mean, yeah, but you can't... Do you have to hold down jump for it? Is the jump input like registered the moment you touch the ground or something, so that allows you to make like a timing perfect jump to maintain momentum? That would be tech. You don't hold it? Oh yeah, so then it doesn't matter. You can have it on scroll wheel then, if you don't hold it. You press it in rhythm. Yeah, so scroll wheel is probably fine for that. It's probably better for it, because you can spam the scroll wheel jump, but you can't spam the regular button as easily. But yeah, so raise. What about raise? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think so. I think it's just jet. that really justifies having jump not on scroll wheel. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what you're saying. Yeah, so jump. This is just specific to Jet, probably, then. Yeah. In which case, yeah, this is very specific to Jet. Jump in the front. Yeah, no. Jump is important in general, dude. Jump is a pretty important mechanic. I don't know if you knew that, but jumping allows you to get places. It lets you get into various places, in fact. Yeah. Okay. Interact, I think, drop. I like this kind of setup here because having equip spike next to your drop key is actually really nice. Like you can literally slide your finger from the equip spike key to the drop key to drop the spike to your teammates very, very quickly. So it's a configuration I really fucking like for Valorant and for Counter-Strike. You will never have spike on Jet. Yeah, true, but just in general, like these are like peripheral keybinds, right? Because you don't need to have them in some special location. In fact, the drop key, you don't want to have it, you know, in some spot that you might misclick. So this is actually not the greatest spot for it, but the hardware doesn't allow me to have it much different. I guess I can swap the two. And then I'm a bit less likely to like button mash the drop key instead, but that's still not great. But yeah, you get the point. No. So, like, in general, it's just nice to be able to drop the spike quickly. Like, originally you have 4 and then G. So, are you really gonna go press the number 4 and then the number and then the letter G? Like, why do all this travel when you can just move the equip spike key over, right? Like, it's like it's a micro optimization, but at the same time, it's just nicer to be able to do it faster. You know, like honestly, I was thinking to have like just drop the drop key and the equip spike key bound together, but I think there's like a problem with that. I can't remember why I didn't end up doing that for Valorant, but that would also be nice, right? Just instant spike drop. But yeah, plant, diffuse, equip, spike. Oh wait, did they change it? Wait. They changed it. There was an update to the controls. Wait a second. There was an update. There was an update. They updated it. Wait a second. My knowledge is outdated here. Holy shit. Oh my god. Plant, diffuse, equip, spike. They merged it? How does it behave now? Like, that's so interesting. They outplayed you with useless update to UI. They have, yeah. Because you know how the equip spike keybind, it was mostly useless, right? When you think about it, it's mostly useless. The only time it's useful if you're dropping the spike, right? So, this is not the worst. It's not the worst kind of updates to the settings, but it's not the best really either. Depending on how it behaves. Well, now it might work actually. It might work. We'll see. So I'll just have it as drop spike. And then I can have Actually, does interact and plant and diffuse. Actually, I think plant and diffuse and interact keys should be separate, right? Yeah, I'll just keep on talking to ghosts. It's okay. Be right back. Gotta walk my dog. That's what you should have said. Fucking son of a bitch. So, plant slash diffuse. Okay, let's look at the cloudburst. C is where it is originally. Not the best, not the worst. Q is for updraft. That's fine, I guess. Jump plus dash. Okay, so Updraft? Hmm. Not too sure about the updraft yet. Walk, jump, crouch, strafe. This will be interesting, to be honest. Having updraft here. Walk, jump, crouch. Fly up, fly down. Cloudburst, updraft. Tailwind, Blade Storm. Equipment fire. Toggle zoom level. How do I usually toggle zoom level? I think mouse wheel up, I believe. Okay. A common issue. Yeah, so coming back to these now. A common issue with the default keybinds is that they utilize either the scroll wheel or the numbers, which is not really ideal. Melee, actually I need to add melee. Melee literally does not matter where it is, but for the sake of this, I will just have it here. It's just kind of more or less how I usually have it. So Planet Diffuse, Equip Spike. Those are kind of... That's the new thing. The new keybinds. Planet Diffuse or Equip Spike. I'm guessing you equip Spike if you're like not on the bomb sites. Is that it? That is kind of flawed if that's the case though. Maybe it makes you automatically equip the spike and then you have to switch back to your weapon if you do tap spike by accident whilst on a bomb site or near bomb sites. I don't know. We'll see. Cycle to previous weapon. So yeah, cycling, not good. Cycling is not good. The thing about cycling is you can overshoot or undershoot. And a lot of mouse wheels are not good unless you have like a Logitech G302 or something like that. If you have one of those, then the scroll wheel is gonna be pretty good, and it's probably not gonna like it's not gonna do those kind of skips in input, so it's fine. But a lot of computer mice just cannot handle those kinds of precise inputs for a longer period of time, and they just end up slowly and surely just kind of not breaking, but being less reliable instead. So the best way to use a scroll wheel in the long term is by using things that are kind of a set state after the input happens, so that way, if you do end up like scrolling twice by accident in one direction, nothing changes, nothing happens, nothing bad can happen. So jump is therefore fine, because if you do end up scrolling twice for your jump, it's not like you're gonna like double jump and fly off into the fucking air, into the space above. Okay. Equip last used weapon is not really good, because the last used weapon can literally be anything. It's kind of difficult to control that setting, in my opinion, compared to just having 2 separate keybinds instead of just one, because if you are going to use this keybind, you're not going to be using the other ones, most likely. So it's like, it's not the best setup, I don't think. I've not really explored, actually I have explored it properly, but I've not tried to get used to it, because I think I encountered issues with it, like when you pull out, yeah, like because it depends on the implementation in video games. Some video games have a shit implementation for this, where if you, for example, pick up a weapon from the ground, now your history gets reset, and now if you do use this to pull out your secondary, doesn't fucking work. So equip last used weapon in some games is not equip last used weapon always, it's equip last used weapon, like in as long as there hasn't been a moment that's resulted in that setting resetting, basically. Because this setting can be a little bit more powerful in most games, where it can save like a default configuration. Like if you do press it, when there isn't like a last used weapon, you should be able to at least set up what the configuration does by default, but you can't. So it's kind of the issue here, is that either way you have to use 2 different keybinds. I think that's the reason I don't use it, is that either way you have to use at least 2 different keybinds in total to make this setting work fully. At least, depending on your objective, right? What you want to use it for exactly. But yeah, that's why it's not really ideal. Drop equipped item. Do I have water here? I don't. So drop equipped item is fine here, I think. Drop spike. I think that's gonna be fine. Number 4, like it is originally. That's okay, I think. I'm just not sure about the interact key. Not sure about the plant and diffuse one either. What's space set to? Space is... What do I have for spacebar? Party push to talk. I've pushed to talk on space. Really? Okay. I mean, that's interesting. That's definitely interesting, but that's a waste of a keybind. That's an actual waste of a keybind in that case, because you can totally obtain a slight advantage depending on what you use the free slot for. Enable live diagnostics? No. Ew. Scoreboards, communication, and these fucking interface. Instead of like adding interesting or good features, we are fucking doing this shit. Not good. Okay, I don't think I want my drop keys there. I think maybe like that. Well, because now the other keybind does not exist, so there's not much of a reason in having drop and equip spike next to each other anymore. I don't think. Right? Yeah, because now it needs to it needs to be. It doesn't need to be, but a dedicated keybind probably makes more sense now, right? Because depends how it works, I think. But okay, let's just assume that. Let's just treat it like the equip spike key, but at the same time it is gonna be the plant and diffuse key. Let's just assume no specific functionality for now. In that case, is that not gonna be best? Is there any better weapon? Is there any better action to have here? Probably not. Cloudburst, no. Updraft, no. Crouch, no. Walk, no. Jump and walk, no. Jump, crouch. Crouch and jump on the same... for the same finger. Crouch and jump on the same finger. Would that work? Crouch and jump on the same finger. No, it doesn't work because you gotta hold down crouch. That's really difficult to do with the same finger. If you're doing like jumps and you gotta crouch mid-air to reach the surface. So no, that's not gonna work. Melee, no point. ADS, no point. Jump dash, no point in having it there. That might be the best option then. And then something like that, maybe. Drop and drop spike. But if plant/diffuse, but if equip spike works the same way, then it's actually going to be fine this way. Then I would not need this keybind. Then this would be fine. Or have drop here, actually. Ooh. That's a nice spot for drop. Ooh, that's a nice spot. Ooh. That's the best spot, I think. Is that the best spot for drop? That is, I think. Very minimal chance of misclicking it. if any chance. At least with my hardware. Yeah, that's good. So now we have some slots over here, which are very nice for different things. Maybe updraft, maybe for the updraft. Potentially for the updraft. But I like this position for the updraft, to be honest. Let's see, drop equipped item. Inspect and reload are on the same key. Okay. Use object, hold. This is what I'm not sure about. Use object, I believe that's graffiti spray. Use item, no. Use item, tap. Use spike, plant or defuse. Wait a second. Use spike, plant or defuse, plant or defuse, slash group spike. So the keybind still exists. What? And its default is also number 4. What? Wait, that's so confusing. Okay, so plant slash diffuse slash equip spike, and then use spike is also on number 4. Is there a reason for this? Have they made it like where it still equips spike, but it works if they're bound to the same key? That would be funny. If that was the case. Huh. If that was the case, that would be interesting. But okay, so for now, I don't care about these. Communication. Push to talk. It's kind of annoying in general, just because. Okay, but none of these really offer any great advantages, so for now I'm gonna fuck them. Okay, so we're basically done. We're done planning the keybinds. I guess. Except now we need to think about what might benefit from this. I guess jump plus stash. I guess jump plus stash could be on that. But ultimate, interact, drop, right, reload, walk, crouch. Okay, that's about it for Jet, I think. There's no real way to optimize that much more. Unless we put... Now, walk and jump also doesn't work, because then it denies us the other mechanic. And so... maybe... jump plus dash and scroll wheel down. Nah. There's gotta be something else. See, updraft. Updraft, I guess? Nah, because if we misclick updraft, it's gonna be a disaster. It's gonna be a disaster if we misclick it. And could it offer any advantage, however? I guess it could, just separating it from the left movement button. Secondary could be on scroll wheel down, to be honest. Ooh, okay, now we're getting somewhere. So, secondary can be on scroll wheel down. Also, did I color code everything correctly here? Combat, movement, low priority, peripheral. What's combat? What's movement? Combat. Combat. I mean, this is also combat, I guess. Right, reloads. Nah, it's peripheral, I guess. Nah, it's still combat. You still need to have the reload key in a reasonable position. Otherwise, you're gonna be at a disadvantage in your fights. Updraft, combat, I guess. Can be combat. Attack, combat, ADS combat, cycles previous weapon combat, jump plus dash combat, typically. Secondary combat, dash combat, ultimate combat, interact no, drop no, jump. Not really. I don't know, it's more movement. I mean, dash is also kind of movement. Do I classify dash as movement over combat? I mean, it's an ability. I think to keep it consistent, I am going to keep abilities under combat category, because otherwise it's gonna get too complicated, I think. Interact, drop. So I could actually put drop over here now, but let's not do that. It's not. Interact. I think it's fine where it is. But now we do have an option to put something here. What do we put here? What do we put here? Dash is one option. But like, we literally have too much space now. There's too much space. To the point where we could swap jump and crouch and walk, because crouch and walk kind of have to stay together. But if we swap them, it's gonna be fine. Okay. I think maybe the thing about jump is actually, because it's jet. On jet, it doesn't matter, I don't think. So it's actually, it might be fine. But shouldn't jump then be on side mouse button instead? So what's the downside of having jump on side mouse button? The disadvantage of having jump on a side mouse button is there's no real disadvantage. Or is there? What about when using jet ults? When using jet ults, I guess when using jet ult, it's gonna be a disadvantage. So we can't have it on side mouse button, so I think that's a good idea. What's the advantage though? I guess the advantage is we're going to be able to make use of the thumb keys more. Because there doesn't seem to be anything else that's going to benefit from the additional thumb key. Jump plus dash, yeah, no. I think everything on the mouse is fine. Everything on the mouse is good enough. However, there we go. Okay. That is pretty good, actually. That's good. That's good. I like that. That is good. I like that. Yeah. That is good. That's actually good. So the ping key is only responsible for the jump key. And that's it. The ping key is only responsible for jump. But we could also put updraft elsewhere in this case. Yeah, like there's no trade-off really, is there, by moving it to the letter G? Because like we already have melee. 30th? Why? Because paycheck? New act? Ah. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, so I think this is it, really. This is kind of it. I'm still kind of worried that I'll be misclicking updraft. I don't think I will, though. I don't think I will. So this is probably it. This is probably the optimal control scheme for my keyboard layout. For Jet. Again, I think the most important ideas are ultimate is far away. It's far enough from like the right movement key that you can't misclick your ultimate. You know, because it's so shit when even fucking pro players misclick their fucking ults. Second, the most important idea, I think, is the weapon cycling. So you scroll down for secondary, scroll up for primary, or strongest weapon. You scroll down for secondary, but then you scroll up for your strongest weapon. So if you pull out knife to pull out your primary or secondary, you then scroll up. So it's basically just your strongest weapon. Third most important idea, I think, is the dash. Actually, dash is the most... Okay, so no. The dash is the most important idea. Second most important idea is the way you switch weapons is consistent. Third most important idea is, yeah, not really having a chance of misclicking your ultimate. Fourth most important idea, I think, is the fact that the plant/defuse/equip spike key is separated from the movement keys. So you can tap spike and instantly start moving. You don't have to release your movement keys to tap spike to then start, you know, strafing. So that clunkiness is also fixed now. Apart from that, there's nothing else really, like, that's all that really matters. So it's like, you know, it's optimizing controls. There's just a lot of things to keep in mind sometimes, but sometimes when you just look at the most important things, this is it. Right, this is it, basically. I just went through it in like 2 minutes. Okay, we can play Battlefield. Because as the YouTube title suggests, I'm gonna play Battlefield. Or maybe Ghost Runner. I don't know. We'll see. In just a second. So let me just apply the setting now. I guess zoom level doesn't really matter much either. I think it's just important to be able to toggle zoom level without letting go of your dash key or your left mouse button key or your ADS key if you have it set to hold. I think that's the main thing to keep in mind, because like if you're toggling zoom level whilst an enemy might peek you and you get caught off guard without being able to dash away or without being able to shoot them, that's probably the worst case scenario. So that's the main thing to keep in mind, I think, with zoom level. You obviously want to be able to either shoot the enemy or dash away, right? Ideally shooting the enemy first. So, okay. I don't think ping is that high priority. Because like if you're pinging, you probably shouldn't be doing it unless like you're safe, basically. Like it's better to ping. Actually, no, because if you're pinging like watching here, you're pinging whilst holding an angle, I guess in that case, this might not be the best. Or is it? It's fine. I think it's fine. Probably not the best position. Number 2, maybe. Nah. Show teammate loadout. Oh yeah. Open map. Now we just need to bind for jump and dash. Okay. I think that's it. Are we done? I think we're done. ADS, cycle, secondary jump, dash, attack, cloud burst, dash, walk, crouch, plant slash equip slash defuse, ultimate interact, drop, Updraft, right, backwards melee, ping, reload, inspect, forward left jump. Okay. Now I will apply my general settings later, but I just now I wanna, yeah, corrode.
Let's go.
Okay.
My ult's ready.
This is the first jump that I want to test. Okay, my push to talk is shit. Testing. Okay, this push to talk also works. Okay, so this. Oh, that's my crouch key. Never mind. My jump key doesn't work. Bruh. Where's Q? And now it's just not letting me change the settings. What? Brother. What? Thank you, Riot, for changing the fucking interface. Okay, Q. Why? I don't have anything bound to Q. What is going on? Why can't I jump? Why? I just want to jump. I'm literally Jet. Nah, this is so buggy. Oh, jump is my pinky. Okay, wait. I'm looking at a Q. That was such a brain fart. I'm looking. Okay. Q is my jump. Okay. Simple enough. Okay, that jump is not possible. It seems that one seemed possible, but okay. Okay, I guess. I'm not sure how that's helpful though, because like... Okay. I'm sure there's a situation where it's helpful. Like, what is, like, good about this? I guess you can ult on updraft.
Blocking sight.
I guess that I guess that's a good thing. Is yeah, you can ult updraft there. I guess. There's not that many jumps on this map. Huh. There really are not that many spots. That's kind of disappointing. Oh, maybe here. Nope. Okay, so this is like the main one, but like oh my god. Corrode has like no jumps. That's so disappointing. Okay, next up is I'm sure Corrode has maybe like one jump. Okay, Fracture probably will have a lot. Fracture should have like a lot of them.
Cool. Let's go.
Okay. Oh yeah, Fracture definitely has a bunch of them. I already can tell. I wonder if it might require a lineup. Probably not. I hope not. Oh yeah, that's easy. From here you can probably go Gen or... From here you can go Gen, maybe. Let's see. We can go Gen.
No tanks left.
This seems possible. Like it might actually be possible. Yeah,
No charges left.
I'm making a lineup.
No charges left.
I don't think this works. Because this is lower elevation. It's not gonna work. Also, this camera is in the way. Oh my god. I don't know. There wasn't there a way to get there? Oh my god. Overdraft is the only way, apparently. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad. It's possible I'm just bad. Entirely possible I'm just bad. Okay, well, let's move on.
No charges left. My ult's ready. Blocking sight.
Obviously, like, this is not really it. You can get there, but better to get there on timing. There's not much else here. I think maybe something's gonna be here. Okay, yeah. There's a few spots here that you can get to. Ooh, I like this spot. Ooh, hoo, hoo. This is a nice spot over here. Like, this is like a sage wall almost. Like a sage wall type spot. Like, oh my god. I like this. With a knob. Holding this with a knob is gonna be crazy. Wait. Wait. Oh shit. I always wonder how to make these lineups so that you can be like as far out to the right as possible without falling off. Like, obviously you have to kind of hug the wall, but I guess this is one way to do it. Top of my HUD with a dot, yeah. So yeah, that's like the furthest to the right you can be. And that's a good thing as well, because now, after you take a shot with a knob, you can just instantly drop down. Swing this, maybe swing it a little bit better, not like I did, like... some kind of jump. I'm still new to these keybinds, so this is a bit difficult for me, but okay. That's the main spot on Fracture, I feel like. That's literally like the main spot. There's this spot. But like, it doesn't offer, I don't think it offers as much of an advantage. Just because like here, you're kind of standing on this line. So like here, this is not quite good against the drop. Against sands, it's kind of okay with an up, I guess. Just a vertical flick maybe needed. Maybe not, if you like have good crosshair placement. Maybe if you aim like here, you might not have to do anything. Still, it's kind of iffy, this angle for that. But for main, it's kind of okay. I guess you can see over the box as well, so you can maybe pre-aim like that or something and just get ready to flick that enemy. So that could give you a free kill, I guess, but... I think this spot is the main one. This is the main spot. And then maybe the other one, to be honest. Or to be fair. Because being on top of here, kind of holding this line here, is actually pretty good, I'd say. This is not bad. Like, it's like an off angle in a way. You just kind of have to do this. So yeah. Unfortunately, for fracture, there's just like 2 spots. So first spot is over here. Second spot is over here. First spot lets you aim main, second spot lets you aim there. So it's an okay spot for an up especially. I'm not sure if you can make this jump. I don't think it's possible. It might be very difficult. But even with a lineup, I've been like really off. Like even coming as close as possible to the edge when I jumped, I was still really off. How do we get here? Multiple ways, but this might be the main way. Okay. Okay, next is Haven. Let's see. Obviously there's these.
ult's ready.
Okay, that's possible. This jump is possible. Let's fucking go. Yes! I wonder if this position is possible to shoot side from. Kind of is, but it's not that good. It's like if you plant in a very specific, precise way, you might be able to get something done here. Like maybe peeking like here, slither here. I'd need someone to test this with me, because if you like lurk window, get a kill, fall back. One way to reposition is on top of these boxes when the enemy still doesn't have sight, and then you maybe have like a perfect god pixel angle on the enemy here. Yeah, I need someone to help me test it.
Blocking sight.
Okay, next is Icebox. On Icebox.
My ult's ready.
Okay, using the rope might also make it a bit easier, or maybe it might make it harder. Who knows? But yeah. That's nice. That's also nice. Okay. Okay. It's kind of a one-way, to be honest. It's a nice one-way position in a way. So it might be good. Okay, this might also be good in some situations, I can imagine. Maybe if you updraft with your ult. Yeah, with ult, this is probably very nice. Yeah, I think it's also I'm also gonna have to mention that it's important to consider that like these kinds of spots exist where you can probably make like you can do like an insane peak here with a updraft. Yeah, really high up. That is kind of an insane peak now. That's an insane peak. That's crazy peak, dude. What the fuck? Just in the fucking sky. Oh my god. Crazy. I love that peak though. That's a cool ass peak. I love that. I mean, all this shit is kind of obvious, right? Like, you can get everywhere on jets. You can literally go anywhere as jets. Yeah, the glide is easy. I don't even have to try it. Like, the glide is just easy as fuck. So yeah, we can get basically anywhere here. What about from the ground? Can we get anywhere from the ground? I guess we can get on the boxes. Relatively risk-free. I don't know. Yeah, so that's the main one I think I'm gonna save in this area. This jump would be somewhat useful, I think. Just very obvious that at least it's difficult. So, I don't know, like, maybe this jump is possible, but it's just really difficult. But like, let's think about it. Does it actually offer any advantage? Timing-wise? Five seconds. Six seconds. Six seconds. 6 seconds. Is this every possibility? Probably not, actually. There's one more possibility, and that is... Yep. Okay, so which one's the fastest in theory? 4.9. Well, it sure, but okay, so this is the optimal path, less than 5 seconds. Everything else is like 5.6, 5.8, 6.1, 5.9. So these are probably slower. This one is apparently also quite slow. So this is the best alternative, I think. Okay, that's the fastest alternative. Still, I think the 4.9 second one would be great. But if you can't get it consistent, it doesn't matter. This one can be done consistently very easily. I guess this too is an option. That's it, I think. That is it, yeah. Actually, there's also this, but you need an updraft for it, so it doesn't really count. This is funny. Oh my god.